My dad has been raising me since I was about 5 years old by himself. Growing up, it was kind of rough. A lot of times my dad didn't have a babysitter. I would sit in the back of the shop, I'd watch him tattoo, I'd play my video games or I'd draw. And he would teach me little things, like how to maintain your station, how to sweep, how to mop, how to set up his station for tattooing. I felt like that was one of the pivotal points in my childhood because it really helped spark my interest in this. And that's when I told myself it's something I want to do, From a young age, one of his dreams was having us work side by side together. And during my apprenticeship, he had to be a little harder on me, which is understandable because I was, the boss's son. He would even tell me, son, they're not looking at what you're doing, they're looking at what you're not doing. So you can scrub this whole floor on your hands and knees with a toothbrush, and they're not gonna tell you good job. But if you miss a spot, they're gonna tell you fucked up. And they're expecting me to go easy on you, so I can't go easy on you. I had all these dudes around me who were killing it, I'm saying? My dad's killing it. Big shoes to fill, and he always stressed to me, son, you gotta be better than me. You gotta be better than me because I'm teaching you, and I want you to be better than me. I had doubts, everyone has doubts. So 2018 rolls around. My dad told me we were going to do Salt Lake City Tattoo Convention with his mentor, Tony Olivas. We had this big old bed. It was from the brand Tatsol. For some reason, we had to be in a rush to get to our plane. I put it over my shoulder real quick to throw it on so we can start running, and I guess my execution of picking it up wasn't good. As I'm laying in bed that night, my back's kind of sore. The weekend progressed in the convention, and it just felt the same way, and I was like, fuck, this sucks, man. With that being said, we get home, we go to a chiropractic office. I remember they do an x-ray on my back and they find out that I have scoliosis. He takes me into his room and does the fucking adjustment. When he finds my right leg last, I remember when he pushed down, it being painful. Got to a point where my right foot felt like I was stepping on like hot coals and like someone was wringing out my ankle. And finally my dad was like, you know what? Like, we're gonna take you to a doctor. No more no more waiting, son. They do an MRI on my back, and the woman asked me right away if I was in a car accident. She was like, well, the kind of injury we're seeing right now in your back is what we see on car accident victims or people who have fallen down a flight of stairs. And I'm like, I went doing a back adjustment at a chiropractic office, and they were just like, ooh, like, we don't see chiropractors as real doctors. I come out of surgery and I didn't feel no pain, no more pain in my leg. They finally get me back to the room, and that's when I realized most of my right leg is numb. It was like one problem just ended and another one just began, you know what I'm saying? Because they would stress me from day one that it's possible to get my feeling in my leg back, but after a year, whatever don't come back, that's it, that's how you're gonna be for the rest of your life. Every post-op appointment I go to, I'd be walking in there super positive, super excited because, I would break new ground. Instead of walking 15 minutes that day, I walked 30 minutes, or the next day I walked for 45 or an hour, and it was just exciting. I was so eager to get back to normal. I'd leave there sad because they'd be like, oh, that's great, dude, but remember, after a year, whatever you don't got, that's it. Being told that every single time was like, fuck, man, like, I'm trying my best. It was a hard time, but coming back to the shop, I feel like it really grounded me again. It took me out of that, depression I was in, and seeing the guys again, seeing how excited they were to see me, walking around the shop again, setting up my dad. I couldn't do everything like I used to because I would fall down real easy. I would trip over shit. But like, I just wanted to feel useful again, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna tattoo myself. So I tattooed a traditional skull on me with a hat on that has HTX on there. Did it on top of my knee. I remember the guys looking at me and like, hell yeah, Gabe, like, that's it right there. I remember my dad seeing it and telling me, son, you get a charge for that. That's how good that is. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. So at that point, he was like, okay, start taking in more people for apprentice tattoos. They're gonna be free of charge, of course, which I don't give a shit. To me, the payment was someone showing up and trusting me to do it. I posted a fucking post on my Instagram, and man, the floodgates were fucking open. I love my job. Being here is like, I'm not at work. It's like I'm having fun all day. I'm tattooing, I'm enjoying everything I'm doing. I'm challenging myself. In the first year, it was hard. Don't get me wrong, as a tattooer, I'm trying to find what works for me, what doesn't work for me, to focus on my strong suits. I was looking at a lot of Flash. I was following a lot of tattooers. I was watching my dad. I was watching my colleagues. I was watching everything they were doing and how they were doing it because I wanted to be at their level. I feel like all those values that my dad taught me as a kid, to persevere, to work hard, to never give up, to never quit. Like, a lot of those things especially came into play during my injury and losing my grandpa and losing my brother. I'm proud of the person I am, and I'm proud of the challenges that I've overcome.